Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to build a desktop PC for gaming. This is aimed towards people on a budget who can't afford expensive graphics card. You can easily run FPS or esport games like Valorant, CSGO, Team Fortress 2, War Thunder on a 1080p 75Hz monitor with very good frame rates. Now let's take a look at the parts that I've used in this build. To begin with the build, take the motherboard out of its box and place the motherboard on the box for installation of core components. Now take out the components from the APU's box. Keep the cooler aside while you install the APU. Press the socket lever and pull it down so that it is in a right angle with the motherboard. Installing the APU is pretty simple. Match the notch on the APU with the one on the motherboard and gently place the APU on the board so that the pins properly fit the socket. Now push the lever back down to where it was, parallel with the motherboard. You now need to install the CPU cooler. I'll show you how to install the stock cooler that we received with the APU. First, we need to remove the liquid cooling brackets. Keep them away safely, you'll need them when you decide to switch to AIOs. Align the cooler's screw with the holes on the motherboard and gently tighten the screws. I like to do diagonals at a time so that the pressure is equally distributed. The fan headers will be connected later on to ease with cable management. Now, you can install the RAM. The diagram on the motherboard shows us how to do it. The RAM slots are also color-coded and the gray slots are where we'll be installing them. APUs work best with dual channel memory, so we are installing two 8GB RAM sticks. Open the clamps on each end and align the RAM's notch with one on the motherboard. Gently press the RAM module down and the clamps should fasten automatically. Next, install the NVMe SSD. Use a smaller screwdriver and take out the screws on the upper SSD slot. The upper SSD slot is connected directly to the CPU. The lower one is connected via the B550 chipset and is slower. I'm using a Gen 3 SSD because AMD APUs as of Ryzen 5000 series only support PCI Gen 3. Align the SSD with the socket and press it down. Install the screw you removed and the SSD will be locked in place. Now, take the case, remove the tempered glass and remove its back panel as well. Install the I/O shield provided in the motherboard box to the case. Lay the case down and place the motherboard in a way so that the I/O ports are accessible via the I/O shield and the screw holes in the motherboards aligns with the ones on the case. Now use the screws provided in the case to screw the motherboard in place. Route the CPU's fan cable from the back of the case and connect it to the fan pin as shown. Install case fans if you need or if you had removed them while installing the motherboard. Connect your front panel's I/O to the motherboard's pins dedicated to them. They are usually at the bottom of the board and you should see something like F panel. The front panel I/O have wires dangling from the back of the case. They have some description written on them about what they are and what they do. Match and connect them. Now, remove the power supply from its packaging. Place the power supply in the PSU shroud and tighten it in place with the screws provided. Route the 8-pin CPU power cable behind the case to the socket and connect it to the motherboard. Similarly, connect the 24-pin ATX power cable to the motherboard. You can optionally install a hard disk. Place the hard disk on the tray behind the PSU. Connect a Molex cable from the PSU to the hard disk to power it. Connect the hard disk to the motherboard with a SATA cable provided in the motherboard box. Finally, you can install the network antennas provided in the motherboard box. Close the case on both the sides after managing cables. Connect the peripheral devices and power on your machine. Remember to plug both the PSU power cable and the monitor's cable. If everything has been done as described, the machine should power on like this. On next boot, press F12 to go to BIOS. Set BIOS date and time and enable XMP. Reboot and now you can install Windows or Linux. Make sure that you check out my guide on how to install Windows 11. If you have your system up and running, please do like this video, share it with your friends who might want to build a similar setup. Feel free to ask questions in the comment section and also do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you have a nice day.